Okay, welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the Day One Perspective. We are going to go over the Utah event that Jenay and I just got back competing from. So Jared's going to be the one asking us questions today, and we'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably the best one to ask questions right now because I followed it loosely, but I don't really know anything that happened. So, all right. Stage one. What was y'all stage one?
We had the O course relay to start off.
All right. That's one y'all are telling me about. So,
Yeah.
one person, Ryan.
So the course was partner one starts, goes over, it's like a little, 20-yard sprint, and then over 3 berms, and then you go like around this little loop, make a right-hand turn, about 100-yard straightaway, another right-hand turn, so now I'm facing back the direction I came from, and then it was either 5 or 6 berms on the backside, I can't remember. And then once you got over the backside, it was about another 50 to 75-yard sprint to tag your partner. And then partner 2 went down in this little dry riverbed, ran around some stuff, did some things.
We went over 2 cars. It was much shorter than the first run. I think your run was a little bit over 400 meters with the berms. And then the second one was definitely shorter. And we went over 2 cars and like hopped on this Connex box, went in the back of a van, went out the van, and then had a short sprint to finish. So your relay part was much harder than mine, in my opinion, just effort-wise. Like I had to be agile and still be fast, but you had to endure all the bay climbs.
Yeah, it was. So we did 5 guys at a time. So it was an absolute like, I don't know, it was like a cannonball coming out of there with all 5 of us. But you're jostling for position. There was maybe 3 feet. I mean, you walked it with me. It was about maybe 3 feet wide going over the berms. So maybe enough for like 1.5 people going up over the berms at a time. They had like little flags that you had to kind of stay between. And then I will say that the race started whenever you got to the turn. So you got over the first 3 berms, and then you made that right-hand turn, and then that's when the race like officially started.
How big were the berms?
Probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet, a little bit taller than TSAs if you guys have ever been out to Texas and TSA. So they're not super tall per se, but they were rather steep, especially the backside.
And sandy.
Yeah, the backside was very steep and very sandy.
So did y'all like go over 3 berms and then come back another?
Yeah,
or did
so
y'all
you went over 3 and then you made this loop, which I think those 3 that were facing those bays would be facing to the left essentially. And then there was like, I guess those were wider bays. And then when we made a loop around the backside and you came back in the other direction, you were now into the bays that would be facing to the right. Okay. And I think they were skinnier bays, not as wide, because there was way more berms on the second side than there was on the first side.
And when you think berms, it's not like well-maintained berms. These are graveyard berms that clearly no one has shot in these areas for a while because they were sandy, falling apart. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, we take off like a bat out of hell. Jose's probably the fastest kid alive, and we're trying to chase him down. It's me and Mike, one of the SIG guys, are like neck and neck. I cut him off and gained position on him before the little loop around. And then the only thing I could think of the entire time was like, this big mother effer is about to catch me and climb over me on these berms, and I just need to stay in front was the only thing I could think of. And second to last berm, I skipped up, saw like a big rock that I was going to put my foot on and just hop over the berm. I put my foot on that rock and it sank straight down. Yeah. And then I face planted into the berm. And then I just screamed out to Mike, just climb over me, just go. Because I wasn't trying to hold him up, but there's 3 feet on this berm and I'm face planted into the middle of it. So I eventually climb over it. And I think that was like Roe got that shot of me and him going like climbing over at the same time. I was totally gassed at that point. I had just given everything I got to get over the berm and face planted. And I had one more berm to get over, and then it was the sprint around. Dude, I was so gassed at that point.
And he looked gassed coming in at the end there.
Coming in, man, that was a wild experience. Especially to start the morning with like not much prep work. It was just like Nick Palacios called me and he's like, "Hey, we're getting ready to run, y'all." And we still didn't know it was 5 at a time at this point.
So we were like, planning on our heat time being later.
I was like, dang, like they are cooking through these people right now.
So y'all thought y'all were going to have like 3 minutes between launch or something like that. Okay.
So, I mean, to be totally honest, I was going to try to bring the camera and get her coming around the backside over like one of the cars. I was just going to try to get some footage of it. But when Nick called and said, "We're waiting on you," I was like, okay, well, that's out of the door. Let's just go run this race. And we show up and it's like Jose, Big Mike, Joel, which was Devin Miller's partner, and then E, and they're all lined up, and I was like, "Oh, y'all are waiting on me." Like, I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
We were still like 15 minutes early to the heat time, like we were being egregious.
Like, man, I didn't know they were waiting on us like that. Nor did I know it was going to be five wide, which honestly made it a little sketch. I'll just say that it was a fun event, but it was definitely. In my opinion, it should have been one at a time.
Yeah.
It would have been a little safe. I don't think anybody got hurt.
How long did it take?
My side was...
Total time of like 2:30-ish.
Yeah. My time was probably like 1:40, and hers was about a minute.
Okay. So if you did it... Because like the way we've done it in the past, the single person launches were 3 minutes apart, and it still came out to like 15 minutes for the heat. Yeah.
Definitely could have done that. My side was not very hard in comparison to that. I just had to, like I said, be agile.
So maximum, you would have had like maybe 2 timekeepers. So if like one person didn't finish under,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Overall, though, that was a good event. I do think, though, that, I mean, there's a reason why men aren't and women don't play against each other in sports.
Yeah.
Because it was just, E on our side was, I mean, E's a really good sprinter. She's fast.
Yeah, really good athlete.
She's really good athlete. She was 35, 40 seconds back from us on our side. And it's not because she's not fast. It's just like men and women don't need to be in a foot race against each other.
Yeah, me and Jenay were talking about that, because we ran that sprint together in South Carolina.
That's right.
And, Jenay's one of the faster women, and I'm not one of the faster guys anymore. And I beat her. And so the scale just isn't there.
Right.
And add in climbing hills, the berms, pure size and power output.
Yeah.
Definitely gives the man the advantage to take that first.
Which, like, if you think about it, in a 2-minute race, who would you pick? Me or her? Her. 100% of the time, right? Yeah. But then you add in the fact that you got to climb over berms and it's a sprint. Yeah. It's like, well, she's never going to beat me in that.
So that's why you did the longer section and you did the shorter section.
I did not want to do the longer section. It just physically I had to do the longer section because otherwise we would have been.
I think like comparatively speaking, Jenay is a better runner in the women's division than you are a runner in the men's division.
100%.
Yeah, and you still took the longer leg.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, we had made that decision before we knew that it was going to be 5 go at a time, and then when we roll up and it's 5 at a time, I was like, perfect. So glad we made this decision.
So glad that we chose that.
It would
it would have been dangerous for you. Could you imagine you with like 4 other guys my size? Or
think
about I would get.
I mean, think about E. I even told E, like, hey, don't elbow me too hard. You might hurt me or whatever. And she was kind of like, oh, yeah. She said, as soon as it was 3, 2, 1, go, and we shot out like a cannon, she goes, I let y'all go, and then I took off. She goes, I was not trying to get hurt.
She was in a race with like me and Zach and you and whoever, like, not intentionally hurt you, but like accidentally hurt you.
100%.
Like, if it was another guy in that same position, it just would have been like a nudge. But like a nudge to a 200-pound guy versus a nudge on a 120-pound, like you're screwed.
Yeah. And I also on that stage, I believe it was 100 points.
It was 100 points, and I was talking to somebody else after the match, and it's like. On the dude side, you fall coming down one of the berms and you roll your ankle or whatever, and you have to hobble in or whatnot. I mean, you take a 70% score, not because of any other reason, but because you tripped and fell. Yeah. Even if it's a 1.5 mile run and I trip and fall, it's maybe 1% of the score max.
Well, I mean, devil's advocate, some of it is execution, right? Sure. So your ability to execute on demand, even in a short time frame, is important.
Sure.
So because a lot of people have given the shooting portions, like, why is a shooting 100%? It's like, well, your ability to execute this thing on demand is important. And it's like, well, what if you get a what if you bobble? It's like, well, you didn't execute.
Sure.
100%.
I can see that. Yeah.
The important thing to note, I think, in comparison here is that the burpee box step over stage was 50 points. And it was the same time domain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it was 3 minutes, and those sprints were 2:30, 3 minutes, right? Yeah. And that one was 50 points.
At the beginning,
we also had a 20-inch box, so there was a scaling option too. Versus on this sprint, there was no scaling.
No scaling for women. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, they did something I like, and they didn't do anymore. But I think they made the shooting event 50 points, and then they made it all physical. So basically what they were doing was that if it was a single modality thing, it wasn't fitness and shooting combined, it was 50 points.
Right.
But everything that was combined was 100 points.
Which they did do 2 50-point stages, the shooting aggregate and then the burpee box jump overs.
I think like a shooting aggregate should probably be treated as like a single modality thing. But then like a 2-gun stage should probably be 100%.
Sure.
Yes.
Because if you do bobble something or something doesn't necessarily go your like, just like the design of the stage, or you pull a shot, like in a 2-gun stage, you can recover. There's time to recover if it's a proper 2-gun stage. On like a 9-second aggregate, there's not time to recover.
No.
And but anyway, yeah, like there's like an aggregate style thing, 50 points, and like single modality fitness 50 points. I think that's fair.
And I mean, I see it both ways, right? Like, I don't want to run 2 miles at pace for 50 freaking points. I mean, I want 100 points for that, because I sold my soul for 2 miles for that. So like, I get it. I'm not saying that they needed to change it or whatever. It's just, I'm making a note, just data.
Yeah, interesting note that they were pretty much the same time domain.
Yeah.
Different point value.
Yeah.
And then one had a scaling option and one didn't have a scaling option.
All the reasons why I'm glad I'm not in charge of programming.
We've also, on that note, been doing a lot of sprints this year.
Yeah.
Like every event has been sprinting it.
Yeah.
Well, did they have a mile run the last?
One of the last events, there was like an 800-meter run or a mile run or something like that. It was like
can't
up a
remember
big
if that was
hill
a
and then
mile
back.
Or 3.
I mean, I've been not able to work out for a long time, like 6-7 months now. And at my son's baseball practice, I wasn't even thinking about it. One of the kids threw a ball, and like I sprinted like 20 feet to go catch it, and like almost pulled my hamstring. And I was like, damn it, I'm old. Because used to, that would never. But
so if you're not training that, maybe start training that, because we're seeing it a lot. Event 2, we had rowing and shooting steel with both rifle and pistol. So the format was 8 sets each with your partner. You do 12 for guys, 9 for ladies, calories on the rower, and then you go shoot one of your weapon systems. So you would go, to start out, Jake does 12 cals, shoots his rifle. I think it was like 8 rounds. And then rests. I go 9 calories, 8 rounds, rifle. But anything, and then the next round that Jake goes back, 12 calories, shoots pistol after that. So you end up doing 8 total rounds per person, alternating between rifle and pistol. For every miss that your partner gets on steel, the partner that is on the rower following them needs to do their penalty work. So when Jake shot his rifle, if he missed 3, I rode for 9 calories and then did 3 burpee broad jumps to account for each one of his misses before I got to shoot my weapon system. So on this one, the pace, we started out a little too slow. Like the pace needed to be aggressive because it's such a short sprint on the rower. And then the size of the targets was actually quite perfect, because you could shoot fast and potentially hit, or you could get pulled into shooting just a little faster than you are actually capable of and start missing, and then you have penalties for your partner. So I actually liked the size of the targets on that. I thought it was a good challenge.
So it was 8 rounds. So that means you shot pistol twice.
4 times.
Rifle twice.
So we each did 8 rounds.
Oh, so
16
rounds.
total.
16 total rounds.
Yes.
16 individual rounds, 8 per person.
Okay.
So a little bit of strategy on, like, do you want to shoot fast and potentially have more burpee penalties for your partner, or do you want to maybe coast it and then get your hits? Freestanding rifle, I should have said that.
Okay. And then the the rower, where was the burpees at? Like
in front of the rower.
You had a rower, and then you had the burpee section, and then you had the firing line.
If you had to do one burpee, it wasn't really a penalty.
It wasn't a big deal. It was
one
on the
burpee
way.
was not a big
on the
deal.
way there.
Correct.
You drop on the ground,
Correct.
jump over.
Correct.
Yeah, that would have been a good sweet spot. Sometimes we have more than that.
Sometimes we have more than that. 2 burpees was also not that bad because you would just run to the other side, do one, do another one as you're moving to the firing line.
Yeah.
3 or more is when it got.
So one wasn't really a penalty. 2 became a little bit of a penalty.
Correct.
3 is when the penalty.
3, if you got 3 or more, is when it became a problem.
Okay.
And everyone started out pretty hot, so I think that set the tone to push the pace, and then lured us into maybe missing a little bit more than we should have.
Yeah.
On that. But overall, given that it was such a short time domain on the rower, like you had to pretty much sprint.
And then the row cows were scaled for the ladies.
Yes.
Yeah,
for the
9.
Teams.
Yeah.
9 to their 12.
Which,
and that was for everyone across the day.
Yeah, it was 9-12 for all men and all women.
Okay.
Throughout the day.
Not a bad stage. I mean, it felt fine after.
I thought it was a good stage. I thought the rifle was hard for me. I'll just be honest. I thought the standing rifle was kind of hard.
Sure.
Pistol up was money. I think I missed 2 or 3 on pistol.
Sucks to suck with a rifle.
I will say though,
with the rifle for sure.
I feel
I sucked with the rifle pretty bad on that one.
it was a good stage. I think that I hope that there is variance in stages like this in the future. Like A of all, it was single modality. We only had the rower.
Yeah.
And lately, when we've been seeing C2 machines, it's only that machine in shooting. And then on top of that, maybe playing with different time domains instead of having shorter sprints, like max 1 minute at a time. We see like a bigger time domain or varying time domains on it, which might test fitness in a broader way.
Yeah.
Like 30 calories for females and 40 for men, or 50.
Just as an example, it could be 50, 40, 30, like, I don't know, something that is more variable as well.
Well, for a long time, we had always talked about, like, if we were ever going to put rowers in, this is before C2 and all that stuff. If we were ever going to put rowers or something like that in, it would be like you start the 2,000 meters, because that's going to take you 7 minutes. You start that when there's like 3 minutes left. So there's like the group in front of you is finishing up whatever, and then you're starting the people on the rowers, and that 2,000 meter on the rower is the like buy-in to the stage. Does that make sense? So like, but it's still part of it, because if I do it in 7 minutes and somebody else does it in 8 minutes, you're a minute ahead of them still.
Right.
But it's like the work you do before the whatever you're doing for the stage type thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, then stage 3.
That was long range. Jake rocked this one.
Oh, stage 2. Because there's been some other stages that are like kind of that format or whatever. Like it may, and I may be wrong, and it may happen to me in the future, and I'll be cussing myself if they change it. But like, it would make sense that because it's almost a strategy to shoot. If you have 10 rounds to shoot, to try and get 9 hits, shoot fast enough where you're gonna have 1 miss. Because if the penalty for 1 is virtually nothing, and you hit all 10, there's really not a benefit. So it's almost like you would want to say either put the burpees like behind to where like you have to go from the rower and then go back to the burpees and then go back across the rower to. So it's like a time penalty to get where you go to the burpees.
Gotcha.
So that the first burpee is a penalty.
Right.
That would have changed the game.
Yeah.
That would have changed the game a lot.
Because what y'all were doing, 1 miss wasn't a penalty.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the SIG guys and Sal and Jose their pace of shooting was incredibly fast.
Yeah.
On both rifle and pistol. We were able to hang with them on pistol, but the rifle was, I'll just be honest, I couldn't keep up with their rifle pace and hit.
Yeah.
I could have just waylaid it at the berm and had her do 6 or 7 burpees, but to have her only do 1 or 2 burpees at best, I could not shoot that fast. So
Yeah. All right. Back to stage 3.
Long
Stage
range.
two is long range.
So Jake, like I said, Jake absolutely smashed this one. So why don't you talk about it?
I thought it was a pretty cool stage. It was a KYL stage, so they had 1 KYL plate, which for those that don't know this, is 5 plates. It goes in, I think this was a 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4-inch plates that were in descending order from left to right. They had one of these at 200 yards, and then one of these at 300 yards. The 200-yard one, they had you shoot from a prone position up on like a little table. And then the 300-yard position, they had you shoot off of a log. They did give you bags. So there was a total of 4 bags on the table. You did not get to use the bags to like get a sight picture, like test them out or anything. You just kind of had to like grab, and then when the clock went off, you rushed those bags over and you got set up and you shot with it. When we heard there was bags, I'll be honest, we were like, WTF, why do we have bags on the long range stage? That was really cool. After we did the stage, it was really cool having the bags. I would like to see the stage ran the exact same way without bags, just to see the difference in the scores. But ultimately, I thought it was a pretty unique style stage. So the way that it went was on the beat, one shooter went to the 300 yards target, one shooter went to the 200-yard target, and you shot simultaneously for 60 seconds. There was a spotter at each location. And then the shot timer went off at 60 seconds, and then y'all swapped positions and then shot each other's guns. So you had to leave your weapon system there, and then you shot each other's guns at the other position. So she shot the 300-yard target first. I shot the 200-yard target first. And then at the minute, we swapped. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good stage. We got second on that stage, so we did relatively well.
The 200 was significantly easier because you're
easier.
Bagged up, prone. 200, you can see everything.
Was the 200 laying on that thing and the 300 was on the log?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So the 300, for me, the 300 was really tough because I rushed getting into position, didn't feel super stable. So then it totally screwed me for that whole minute because I didn't take the extra second to get more stable to start. So I should have done that.
200-yard one was great. Our game plan changed, which I know you're not supposed to change your game plan in the shoot, but I mean, I was watching Sal and Jose go, and even the SIG guys and even Ian Zach, they all started on like, I was watching the prone guy first because that's where I was going to go. They all started on like 3, and I was like, dang, that's ballsy. But I didn't realize how stable you were. I'm just seeing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And once I saw like how well that plate, number 3 plate was just going straight back, and they were immediately going to plate 4 and it was going straight back, I was like, okay, it's not a big secret. Just pull some good shots, right?
Yeah.
So I went up there. I did start on plate 2 to make sure that my hold was good, but I smashed 2, then 3, then 4, went back to 3, then hit it. And I think I went to 4, tried to catch it in the swing, missed it, caught it in the backswing, then went back to 3, hit it a couple times. I think I missed my last one at 3. I think I missed only 2 shots. Another thing to note is you only got 10 rounds to shoot on each side.
Okay.
And you had to call which plate you were going to hit.
So the part of the stage was that it was taking a long time for the plates to settle. So you had to go to like another one to wait for the one that you originally shot at to settle down.
Especially the 4.
Especially plate 4.
Because it's the smallest plate. I couldn't even see plate.
The smallest plate.
I couldn't see plate 5, so I just.
Plate 5 was a 4-inch plate. It was like itty bitty, but the 6-inch plate, when you hit it, it moved. Yeah. And you had to wait for it to settle.
Gotcha.
We swapped, and then
300. Most people just stayed on the 1.
Yeah.
It was tough.
There's some things about the Know Your Limits plate rack that I'm going to keep in my back pocket and not talk about. But the
that's what that stands for?
Know Your Limits.
Yeah. Because like in PRS, I think I used to know how they score it, but I don't anymore. I know you start at the big plate, then you go smaller, 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 and then you get a time or whatever. But the Know Your Limits part is I think you can stop. And like anybody listening that knows, put it down in the thing and explain it. But I think you can stop because when you run out of time, it's your score is the smallest plate that you've hit. And then Know Your Limits, so like if you shoot 5, which is the biggest one, or 1 is the biggest one.
1 is the biggest one.
So if you shoot 1,
tactical game scoring.
If you shoot 1 and you hit, cool. Shoot 2, 3, and let's say you go for 4 and you miss it, you have to go back to 1 before you can go like 1, 2, 3. And if time runs out and you're just now shooting at 2 again, because you missed 4 previously. 2, you only get points for the second plate.
Got it.
Dang.
So that's why it's know your limits, because the increased risk of missing gets more and more. So like you have to know what you're capable of doing and decide that, hey, I'm going to stop on plate 4.
Sure.
And I'm not going to go for plate 5.
Sure.
That sounds fun.
Which, I mean, in hindsight, I was talking to Nick about it a little bit, and you know, if I shot that plate number 4 and both 3 and 4 were swinging a whole lot, I should have just gone back to 2 and smashed it, or even 1, just to because you're gaining some points or a points versus a miss is 0 points.
And I also think it'd be kind of interesting to go back and look at the scores and just be like, if you would have shot at 1 and 2 and hit 100%, how would you have finished in the stage? Because that would have given you, if it's 2, right? 2 is the second biggest. So then you got 2 points for that. And let's say you hit it every time. That's
20 points.
20 points. So that'd have been 80 points if both people hit 100% on 2. And I don't know what like would have won the stage, but
I mean, if we both hit 2,
that would have been 40
on
points
all of them,
for
that
us.
would have been 40 points. So that would have
We got 44 points total.
So we would have had to hit at the 300 several times.
yeah. So if y'all are
the 200, it was advantageous to shoot the bigger one.
so let's
I
say
think.
like you shot 3 every time at 200 and 4 every time at 300, like alternated between. So maybe alternate between the 3 and the 4 at 200, because that was a really solid spot, and then alternate between 2 and 3 at the 300 or whatever the less. Like I just wonder if everybody would just shot at like one bigger size plate.
Yeah.
They probably would have done better overall.
So I think the RO said the best shooting on the 300-yard target, other than Sal and Jose, other than those two, because I think they absolutely toasted that target. I think that he said it was a female, and she shot the number 1 the whole time, and she hit it all 10 times.
Yeah.
And that was the best score other than Sal and Jose on the 300.
It's probably Lupe.
Yeah, but yeah, I just because that's what I was kind of, when y'all told me what the stage was, that's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, man, they should probably just aim at like the 2 the whole time.
Especially for the 300-yard target, we should have just lived at 1 and 2.
Yeah,
we should have. I think I shot at the 3 once, but after watching the boys do it, it was like, this is hard.
there's like, the only thing I'll say about it is like you have to think about proportions when you're transitioning between plates.
Yeah.
But that's it. So,
It was definitely an interesting twist on long range. I don't think we've seen anything like that yet.
yeah, that's cool. That's
So,
good. And
that's
then
fun.
Night Force sponsored it, so it makes sense that there was a cool longer range stage. I wouldn't say it's long range, like mid range. Yeah. But I did see one of the things that like for sure we can talk about here, and is I watched some of the social media stuff, and they put videos of people shooting off the log, and some of y'all had some real shit positions off of the log.
I was actually about to say something like that.
I had a shit position.
It is always worth it when you're shooting long range. If you get into a position, which I've told you 100 times, if you get into a position you don't like it, take the time to adjust to another position.
Jose did. Jose got into one, didn't like it, and adjusted, and we looked at each other, and we were like, make a note.
Well, they're also, I couldn't do their plan. They have dude proportions, so they like had a bag under their elbow and then like a bag under the rifle on the log, so they were like.
They were in like a, so
Does that
Sal
make
went to like a
sense?
double kneel with his an
yeah.
elbow on
Yeah.
a bag and a rock.
Yeah.
He put a rock and then a bag on top of it. And I didn't trust myself. I'd never practiced that before in my life. So I was like, I'm not going to do this freaking on game day. I put 2 bags, got my knees braced against each other, and rolled into the rifle and felt as stable as I
We'll
could.
talk about it after, but I'll tell you how to do it.
All right, so that was fun.
I thought it was a good
stage.
Really cool stage. Yeah.
Cool scoring.
Stage 4.
Sandbag over Yoke
Oh, boy.
and the barricade shooting.
This was a fun one.
The barricade was that one that with the 390-degree ports and the V on top. The peak on top.
The peak on top, the mountaintop.
Peak. Yeah. So the workout was, there was a start line that was maybe like 25 feet back from the yokes.
Opposite on that. It's a point at the top.
And then you had to,
Whatever.
so you like stress carried to the yokes. You put the bag over a certain number of times, stress carry to the firing line. One person shoots their whole firing sequence. So rifle and then pistol. And then person 2 gets in there after, shoots rifle pistol. And then after they're clear, you carry the bag back to the start, stress carry it, and then the next round begins. So there's 4 rounds total. The reps on the sandbag decrease because the weight gets heavier. So we started with 20 sandbag over at the lightest bag, and then we had 14 in round 2, 8, and then 4 to finish. Mm-hmm. So on this one, the male teams had 125, 150, 200, 250, and the co-ed teams had 100, 125, 150, 200. But the co-ed teams use the same height yoke bar as the men's teams.
So it was literally at her chin.
We took a photo because it was so funny, and it was at my neck. I was like, all right, here we go. So it was high. What do you think it was, like 52?
No, because even the boys were saying it was higher than the normal 52. I think it was around 56 inches. It was up there.
Okay, it was high for sure. So that added a layer of difficulty to it, for me at least. I don't know about for y'all being a dude, but
I did not notice a ton of difference, but I did notice I had to pick your bag and roll it over. Starting at the 125, I had to start helping her roll it over the top of it because she had to pretty much shoulder it, but on her face because she's got to go forward. So she had to like pick it up and like, put it here and then
the 100-pound bag I was legitimately clean and jerking. I'd clean it to my front rack and jerk it over. Yeah. And the 125 got a little heavier, and by the 150, I was just laying it on my face to get it.
I was grabbing it from her, rolling it over, following it to the ground, picking it up, putting it over, guiding it to where it wasn't going to just crush her because I didn't want to like yeet it forward. So I'm like guiding it down and like kind of just like waiting for her to pick it back up so I could help her get it over because it was tall. I mean, it was tall for us. Yeah,
and our strategy, it's advantageous to go 1-to-1 on the bag for the most part, but then, that first person can shoot. So they can be ready to shoot as you're carrying the bag across that firing line stick. So we did it mostly 1-to-1, but Jake would leave me with a couple of reps, and then I'd stress carry 1 or 2 reps, and then I'd stress carry down, and he'd be just ready to shoot.
We only did that on the first round. First round was the only round I left you. The second round I did it with you and you stress carried it.
But I stress carried it,
The third round I stayed with you, but you stress carried it. And then I did the whole 4th round by myself.
Yeah, so Jake carried the team on this one.
So it was like streaming on Rumble or something. I saw it. I guess I saw it like right before or after it happened on their stories. So I watched the stage 4, this one.
Okay.
And y'all's strategy on the last bag was good because y'all didn't get there.
Y'all got there. 4th person to get to the last.
Y'all got there a little after, and then y'all caught up and passed everybody because you did all the last by yourself. Yeah. But yeah, y'all on that last half of the round 4, y'all caught up and got ahead of everybody.
Well, we had a decent. I mean, I think our strategy of me shoot first the first 2 rounds, and then once I need to start catching my breath, then she can start shooting first, and then she'll start carrying the bags back at the end of those 2 rounds. So that way I can kind of calm down a little bit before the 200, which was so needed. Yeah. And then once we got there to that 200, in the middle of the work, I didn't know this until the middle of the workout, but they had put 200 pounds of sand inside of the 250 bag because the sand was so thin and light that it filled up the 250 bag, but it was only 200 pounds. So I did 2 reps, and then in the middle of the 3rd rep, I'm like picking it up, and then mentally I'm like, this is not the 200-pound bag. Yeah. So I put it over, and I like looked at my judge, and I go, that's the 250. Yeah. Right? Like, right? And then I look at Palacios, and I'm like, mid-stage, and I'm like, that's the 250. And I go to pick it up, I put it over, and then he goes, hey, and I look back at him, and he goes, it's 200 pounds of sand in the 250. And I go, okay. Because I was thinking like, dang, y'all didn't help me out at all. I'm doing the 250-pound bag with the female, y'all. Like, what is this? But no, it was the 200 pounds of weight in a 250-pound bag.
I think Zach was the only one that did the 250 by himself.
He did 200. Because he had a co-ed team.
Oh, yeah. He was okay. That makes sense. So both y'all did the 200. Okay. Yeah, because I saw Sal and Jose partner doing the last bag. So,
which I think that's part of the reason why we caught up is because it was taking the teams
to get around it,
to do it up and over together, and then they had to stress carry it together and all that other stuff. So.
And then on top of that, we started in the hardest position for us shooting wise first. So then we were
everybody else went top down. We went bottom up.
Yeah.
We got done with that stage first in our heat, and I looked at Jake and I was like, that was not supposed to happen. I was like, we either did something real good or really bad. Because we just finished first in a bad workout.
Little did y'all know, Jake's zero had left the chat.
Yeah.
Absolutely was gone. We didn't know that quite yet, but
so if your zero was on, it would have been we did it.
Yeah.
But we
All right, so that was the end of day one.
Yeah, day one.
That was a fun event overall. Like that last stage, I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I don't have anything. No real feedback on the stage. It's Sandbag over Yoke. We've done it for 4 years now. So
yeah,
I did like the ability that your partner could help you on it. It was cool watching Paul Gross and his partner do the 200-pound bag together and make that work. That was pretty cool. So it was good to watch that, and then the shooting was pretty hard going candid. So that was a good stage.
All right, stage. So now it's the beginning of day two. So it'd be the first stage of day two, which is stage 5.
Stage 5, we had the aggregate and
throttle control. If you know them.
So you have 2 boxes, 3 targets in the middle, 25, 17, and 10 yards. You start with rifle in one of the boxes. You shoot 2 shots. So you have 2 mags of 6. Shoot 2 shots to the head box, far to near. Do a mag change, go to the next shooter's box, and you go near to far. Clear your rifle, draw your pistol, far to near. Do a mag change, near to far. Those shots are going to be in the A zone. The rifle shots are going to be in the head box.
Actually, it could be 2 on paper.
2 on paper,
but it was body.
Yeah, 2 on body.
Emphasize
below the neck. Perforation of the head, Jared. For those that need to know the difference of the body.
Hey, listen. Words matter.
Well, they made that clear this time.
They made that pretty clear. So, we were in the shoot. We were watching everybody go, and we're taping, and people are I'm just blatantly across our heat, are not having clean runs. Mm-hmm. They're having decently good runs, but no one's clean, up to date. And I looked at her right before we went, and I was like, just have a clean run. I don't care if it's 30 seconds. Just have a clean run.
Yeah.
Because if we just get a clean run at 30 seconds, we'll win the stage. Because I know everybody else's time. So just do this. So I go first. I pull what I thought was amazing shots. And then she pulls her shots, and I grab my phone to video the thing because I was like, I'm about to catch these freaking, we smoked this. I'm about to catch this on video. So we go. I missed every rifle shot, right? I missed 2, 2, and 2, or 4, 4, and 4. And then I think you dropped a couple rifle shots as well. All of our pistol shots are on paper. And then I noticed that my groups on rifle were pretty good just in the top of the A zone or middle of the A zone. And the further back it went, the further off it got. And I was like, this is a zero problem. Like, this is a rifle problem. This is not a Jake pulling the trigger problem. My groups are amazing for me. Like, this is something's going on here. So then you can continue.
Yeah.
From your perspective of this.
I saw you shoot. I saw you shoot the first 10-yard target in the first box, and I was like, there's no way he pulled it that low.
Yeah.
I knew it was something was messed up because you had a good group and it was low on the front target.
Right.
Like low. And I was like, oh, we're screwed. But I couldn't see the back of them, so I thought maybe you did fine in the back because you couldn't see. It was raining. Of course, it was raining. And so I was like, all right, whatever. I just need to mentally be focused on what I'm going to do. And I ran mine, and it was fine. And when you said that you had missed them all, I was like, well, I know that we had the right hold on what we were doing because our rifles are the same. So it worked for me, and it was correct for me, but it wasn't correct for you. Mm-hmm. So that's how I knew that something was really off. Way off. I literally texted you, and I was like, hey, Jake was aiming at the head and hit the A zone. What do you think could have happened there? He's not that bad of a shot.
Yeah.
So chaos ensued for the next hour as we figure out Jake's zero being 4 feet off.
The time that we figured out that the zero was off and quite literally off by 4 feet. I mean, we went back to 50 yards and I was not even on IPSC. But by the time we figured that out to the time we were shooting again in the next stage was like 45 minutes. So we didn't have...
Probably just over an hour. Probably an hour.
Maybe, because we were at the back of that one and we were the very first heat to go on the next stage. So we didn't have a ton of time to figure this out.
Yeah. So I have not been well, for people that don't know. But I'd had a rough night and I was still asleep. And then Jenay will often text me, rarely call me. And my phone went off and like I rolled over expecting to see whatever, and I see Jenay and I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah, you know.
And so I answered the phone to Jared. Jake's Zero is doing that, and anyway, so.
I am frantic.
We got it figured out.
We figured it out.
But, and also thank you, Kirk Holmer, for making sure everything was tracking good, teaching me about that on the spot. That was a little bit of peace of mind there to walk off there.
Rough starts in the morning.
If you ever lose a zero, step one is you go to like 10 yards, and that way you're gonna immediately see where your bullet's hitting, and then walk it back. Go to like, once you get at 10 yards, get it to where it's like 3 inches low, because height over bore or whatever, and then go back to 20 yards. You want to be like 2 inches low, and then just work your way back. So that way, because if you think you lost your zero and you start at 50 or start at 100, you may miss paper, and then you're trying to see where it's hitting on the berm, and it just a disaster. So
we did not, but you could also miss berm, but we did not miss berm.
A tip here is to go up, and safety. You don't want to miss the berm because you could. To save a lot of time, go up to like 10 yards and just see where you're hitting. And like left and right, you can adjust that at 10 yards, but then at 10 yards, you want to be about 3 inches low with most ARs. And then step your way back to your zero. So that way, within like 3 or 4 shots, you can be back and be pretty close at your zero. But I've seen so many people like lose their zero, like back when we were running matches and stuff, lose their zero and just like losing their mind. And they've shot 50 rounds at 100 yards. And they have no idea. And it's like, hey, dude, like go closer. And this is only if you're shooting at paper. Do not shoot steel closer than like 70 yards with a rifle. But if you're zeroing on paper, go up to like 10 yards and make your first shot there. So that way you immediately know where your bullet is in relation to where you should be.
Because this has never happened to me to this level,
I
really had not comprehended the safety aspect of losing a 0-2 until Jake was that far off. And I was like, holy crap, he could be just ripping these over the berm. And out there is nothing behind the back berm. It's just mountainside. So if you did have a round go over, it would not be a problem. But I think of other ranges we've been at, it'd be a problem, like a big safety problem.
Yeah, I remember I was at Mammoth with Nick, and my action screw came loose, which I found out later, but like one of the ROs, we were done, and it's like at an army base and stuff, so it's safe, the direction you're shooting and stuff. And he's like, hey man, you're like 20 mils high. I was like, what? And anyway, it turned out my action screw, and like the next stage was like I had to shoot, and I told the RO, it's like, because we come up and it's like I shoot, he shoots, and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna aim at the ground like 30 yards in front of us, because the last guy told me I'm 20 mils high, and like it is dangerous for me to aim downrange right now. And so I just aimed at it like a spot in the grass and shot, and then saw my bullet hit like 10 feet higher than it should have, and like started working on it, and but yeah, that's the responsible thing to do if you've lost your zero is stop shooting until you can figure out something safe to do. But then also like figuring out, you never expect your gear to do anything. So
I mean, at first you think, oh, this is user error, and then I was like, that's not user error. Anyway,
it's too far off.
We took a few point hit on that stage, quite like 15-point hit on that stage. So
yeah, at least that was a 50-point stage though.
Yes.
Yeah. Luckily
that was a 50-point stage.
All right.
Stage 6 was
lesson to be learned here. If you're listening, trying to get tips, is all of the aggregates. I can guarantee you that if all the aggregates that I've shot, in one, I was shooting way slower than I wanted to shoot and just making sure I got all of my hits, and my raw time was slower, but because I didn't have penalties, I won the stage.
Yeah.
The ones that I shot at speed are either awesome or terrible. So, yeah, the aggregate is not a place you can win a match, but it's definitely a place you can lose a match.
100%.
So that's the way I've, not always, because like there's sometimes I've tried to hit home runs on those, but the 95% of the time, and for 99% of the people, shoot it like 2 times slower than you think you should, and you're going to come out ahead. Yeah. Just those penalties will get you on a short stage.
Definitely. All right.
Stage 6 was the sled stage, which was supposed to be a sled pulling stage, but I don't know how where sometimes like you program something and intend it to be a certain way, and then there's gray area that we didn't cover, think about, whatever it is. Maybe I don't know what happened. It didn't turn into a sled stage. It turned into a farmer carry stage where everybody was just farmer carrying the sandbags around and pulling an empty sled.
For frame of reference, each team had one sled with those long straps that look like fire hoses and 4 bags. Male teams had a pair of 75-pound bags and a pair of 55-pound bags. And co-ed teams had a pair of 75s and a pair of 45s. And they just said you have to take all of this stuff around the loop and then you can shoot. So early on, this was day 2, so we luckily, like, people in day 1 had already kind of hacked this and figured out that the sled is way faster if one person does it and if there's nothing on it. So people were taking sometimes multiple trips where you just run the sled and then farmers carry your stuff. Yeah. Or just all around, farmers carry the bags and then pull an empty sled however you need to get it there. So that's pretty much what everyone did in the elite field at this point. It would have been different, I guess, if we did that stage first. When they, we might not have figured it out so fast, but when they did the stage videos, they demoed it with one athlete holding each strap, the sled loaded, and then one athlete had one bag in their hands. So that appeared to be their vision for the stage. But because of the standards, or rather lack of standards on like dictating how you achieved that, it allowed it to become the farmer's carry stage.
So so it wasn't sled stage.
Not at all. Which honestly made it back-to-back farmer carry stages, because the next stage was
farmer's carry.
A litter carry as a team with rope climbs, but we'll cover that in a minute.
It made the fitness go a lot faster, I think, than they intended as well, because I think the time cap was pretty...
Time cap was 18. I think 18. We finished in 10 and a half, and we were like the 4th person finish in our heat.
Yeah.
The 75s they were fine.
It's 4 rounds, by the way.
They got heavy at the end, and the last round was heavy.
Sounds like the scaling weight, because like the women, y'all only had like 10 pounds less.
Yeah, the scaling was very heavy for the females on that one. I want to say the other co-ed team, Zach and E, also said that it was pretty heavy for them.
Since we were farmer carrying it, it wasn't as bad. Like, I imagine us pulling the same weight sled would have been a lot bigger of a repercussion. Yeah. But
so the way that we did it is I would carry the 75s around, and she would grab the sled and the 45s and would pull this empty sled. Whereas the other male teams, the person who had the 55-pound bags was also getting the sled, but in weight comparison of like, if you were going to do 55 pounds per hand in an empty sled and she's doing 45 pounds per hand in an empty sled, it's way easier for you. I mean, you're sprinting with that weight, and she's like barely walking it.
And method. So they would put the rope thingy in their grip with the bag. So like they were pulling it with their hands. I put both sides over my right shoulder and put the circle thingy on my left arm. So it went around that way because we were making a left-handed circle. Yeah. And then was carrying my bags. So probably a little slower, but then I don't have to have the girth of the rope as well. Yeah. But the guys that were holding it could hold it further back, so then the sled lifts up more.
So they didn't have to take the time to get in and out of it. They were just grabbing the ropes, then grabbing the jerry cans and freaking sprinting. Yeah. Yeah. And like sprinting. I would get done with my lap, drop my bags, turn around, go back, get her bags from her.
I was almost done for the record.
She was on the last. She was always on the last of the legs of the square. But I mean, it still was faster for me to go get it.
Yeah.
And to drop it off versus just stand there and watch her come in. I mean, it was faster for me to help her. So I would run over and I'd help her bring it in. And then whoever was less tired would shoot first. Actually, no, we shot at the same time. One of us shot pistol while the other one shot rifle. And then you would.
Was that on a barricade? I thought that one was the prone one.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That
we both shot prone rifle at the same time. And we had kneeling pistol, so we wouldn't skip it over the berm. But the rifle targets were pretty good on that one. I felt it was 100 yards, and we had triangles that were like maybe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It was, the shooting seemed significant, but the fitness, I think they just anticipated it to be a certain thing, and it wasn't that. So when we got done with the stage, I was like, really, that wasn't that bad. My grip was a little bit feeling it, but overall it wasn't.
So one thing,
I'll be honest, that was one of the harder stages for me on the weekend, breathing wise, because I was running with those bags, and I'd run with your bags, and then I'd have to immediately lay down and get into prone, and I was just like, It was a pretty. I had to calm down getting into rifle, and Sal and I talked about it afterwards. He had to do the same thing. We both had to like get into position and kind of sit there for a second before I started shooting, and then once I felt good, I just started pulling shots.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before, and just to explain, like for anybody that doesn't know or hasn't, anyway, me and Jake have screwed up a lot of programming in the past before I say this, so let's get that out of the way. So it's just assessing here. If you're a competitor and you see it happen, this is why you shouldn't get mad about it. So if you see the intermediate division go and they're all carrying bags and it's supposed to be a sled pull, and then you're in the tactical division and you show up and the RO is now saying, you cannot carry the bags, you have to put the bags on the sled. You're like, wait, but you're not competing against intermediate. All right, you're in tactical, you're competing against people in tactical. So that's to explain, like, if you see a change in a stage. So one thing that we started doing at every match is, all the divisions would go and start. You'd go, me and you would walk around and be like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. So then you'd go to the RO that's running that stage and say, hey, once this division is done, so once the last person in this division has left here and the first group from the next division shows up, we need to change the stage brief to say this so that this doesn't run on for the entire rest of the day. So it's like somebody would find a hack, like carry the bags instead of on the sled. So that way, by the time the other divisions got there, it was appropriate, like how it was supposed to be programmed. So if you ever see that happen, that means they care and they're making changes, and that's a good thing. And just know that you're only competing against the people in your division. That also said, like, if you're looking at overall scores and you're not in, let's say you're in intermediate and you're comparing your score against somebody in tactical, y'all aren't doing the same thing.
Right.
Do not ever do that. So, like, if you pull up overall scores and you're like, oh, I did awesome. You didn't know. Click in your division and don't pay attention to the rest of the other divisions. Because something like that may happen. They may dictate, hey, now it has to be on the sled, or you can only carry one bag. You can't carry both of them. But anyway, that's things that, like, if I had any advice for anybody that was programming, it was, that was something that used to be done a lot, and it made the overall competition much better. And it's something like, even if you have like the last group of intermediates has some tactical sprinkled in it, like 3 teams or 3 individuals in intermediate and 2 in tactical, you can still brief it. Like, you can still go to the 2 tactical people and say, hey, y'all are doing this stage like this, and everybody else in tactical is doing it like this. And then you 3 guys can do it like they've been doing it for the rest of the time. But yeah, because there's always, like, me and you, we'd program stuff and then they'd start doing it and you're like, damn it, I didn't even think of that. But if we say this for the next division, they can't do that anymore. And it's going to go how we intended it to go.
Correct.
Yeah. But anyway, that. Okay.
Overall, just being honest, I didn't really like the stage because it wasn't how it was intended.
Yeah.
It turned into a farmer carry stage, which we're about to go do a farmer carry stage, and I don't know. I was appreciative my legs didn't get blown up and I wasn't super sore for 5 days doing sled pulls with my legs. But at the same time, it was like it wasn't how it was intended, and it wasn't my opinion, a very fair event.
Yeah.
We got smashed on that.
And to reiterate it, we've done the same thing.
Oh yeah, we've done the same thing.
Don't get mad at us. We're
just is what it is.
Okay. Stage 6. Second stage of the day is now stage 6.
That was
stage.
Yeah, that was the sled stage. Stage 7 and stage 8 were kind of back-to-back stages. Stage 7 was a litter carry with the farmer carry handles, and then rope climbs, and then stage 8 was burpee box jump overs.
Oh, so like the farmer carry, y'all held the outside of the plate. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So far, it was with the farmer carry handle, but you held the end of what would be the collar of a barbell. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the handles were actually down for everybody. The farmer carry handle portions were down, and then everybody picked up.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. So it was 55 pounds on every corner for us, and then 70 pounds on every corner for the elite dudes. And I thought that was right.
Yeah.
I thought that was scaled appropriately.
Yeah.
But it was, this was also one of those that like kind of surprised you once you got there.
So 280 in bumpers and another 80, so 360.
Something like that, okay. Yeah. So you had for the, I forgot where I was going with this.
The stage document, it being 4. And then
Yeah. So we thought it was only 4 rounds, where it was only going to be like 8 rope climbs. And we were like, man, we hear people like not finishing this. Like,
well, okay, so you should say what the actual workout was. So it was like carry. You start at the firing line, you carry to the ropes, you do 2 rope climbs per team. And then you go back to the litter, carry that to your mags, which was, I don't know, 50 feet away. And then pick up your mags, and then you litter carry all the way back to the firing line.
Okay.
But so it was written on the document that it was 4 rounds of that. So that would be only 8 total rope climbs in the entire workout.
Yeah.
Which we both thought was totally lame and insignificant for 4 rounds. And then we got over there and they changed it to 8, which was an awesome call.
Yeah.
So awesome good. Call. And I think everyone did 8. Maybe they just wrote it a little weird on the stage.
I think document. They changed it before Saturday, and then everybody did it as 8 rounds on Saturday.
I don't know when the change happened, but it was a good call.
Great call. One of us would shoot.
So 16 total rope climbs. Then.
Correct.
And 8 each.
Uh-huh.
If you split it.
If you split it that way. So when you went back to get your mags.
So Jenay did like 15 and Jake did 1.
Hey, I only had her do both rope climbs on 1 round.
I think I did 10. He did 6.
So
2 rounds.
Chivalry isn't dead.
2 rounds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was only 1 round, but we'll discuss that later. When you went back to grab your mags, one grabbed a rifle mag and one grabbed a pistol mag. So when you went down there, one of you was in the barricade shooting rifle while the other one was shooting single hand pistol. Mm-hmm. And then and it was quick shooting iterations because it's only 10 rounds. Mm-hmm. So and it's not like 10 and 10, like 10 rifle, 10 pistol. It's freaking 10 rounds and you're picking that thing back up again. So it got very grippy.
Yeah.
Very grippy. It was never too much where we had to like put it down. But you thought about putting it down.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, when we say up, it's quick steps to the next point and then immediately put it down.
Yeah.
And then do your thing and immediately pick it back up and get to the next spot. It was no like, we couldn't lollygag, we couldn't walk, we couldn't, it was just heavy enough that you had to move fast.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I thought it was scaled appropriately.
Yeah, it was an interesting stimulus in that way. It was more time under tension on the farmer's carry and grip fatigue than raw, like, heaviness of the lift.
Yeah.
Like Jake said, like, you had to be quick on it and quick to the rope climb or else you would fall behind significantly. And of note, the time cap was very close. Like, there are tons of teams not finishing. I don't even know if many teams had finished prior to that point at all.
Not many at all.
And so the time cap was close, and the work penalties for half of a litter carry down was like 30 seconds. In total, it was a ton of work penalty.
Yeah, it was a lot of work
if you didn't finish. So you had to be prompt at the firing line and on your fitness stuff, you know. So it made it for a good challenge. Like, you had to go at pace.
I like that though.
That was good.
The worst part is if somebody wins a stage by camping on the line. God, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, you couldn't do it on that one.
Not on that one. And And it also took a toll on you, the deadlifts, because you were doing like 3 or 4 deadlifts every round for 8 rounds, which is not super heavy, like, you know what I mean? But the accumulation on the weekend, doing that many deadlifts in a short amount of time, getting up and off the ground, shooting rifle, then doing rope climbs with those legs, like, it took a lot.
Yeah.
It was good. I thought it was a really good stage.
I really liked that stage. Also, why are we always pairing single hand shooting with farmer's carry? Like, can we pick a different pairing? It's always that. Like, single hand pistol is hard by itself. We don't always need to pair it with farmer's carry. Just saying.
Yeah. I think you could also do it by blowing up someone's heart rate, doing it after a stress carry or something that you're like super high heart rate, not necessarily just blowing up your grip, but if you're like breathing really hard and then have to shoot single hand, I think that'd be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
I'm probably writing my own grave here saying that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I like that event. That was the coolest one.
I thought that was one of the coolest events we've done in a very long time at Tactical Games. That event was awesome.
And then we had about 5 minutes before you start part 2, which is 3 minutes of max burpee box step overs between you and your teammate. Get overs. We should say get overs because that's what it really was. Mm-hmm. So it was written to be jump on the stage document, and then we get there and they're like, oh, you can step and then you can use your hands. Yeah. So it turned into a get over.
So really that was just get honest. Yeah. So when you do a burpee, the things that I like is that they're hand release because then nobody can cheat the bottom of the burpee.
Yep.
Right. And then the other thing that I like is get over this box. Not necessarily like dictate how you got it. Just like move over the top of this box to the other side. Because then there's no top of the burpee.
Correct.
That people can cheat, right? Because like you can't cheat the bottom of it, and then everybody now has to get over a box. So like everybody's getting the same thing done, just like the broad jump thing.
They did dictate though that 2 feet have to touch the top of the box.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So they had a standard on that, but I'll leave my opinion to myself on that. But
don't leave your opinion. Let's hear it.
Why are we using our hands to get over an elite?
And even at that, why are we stepping in elite?
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it because the RO.
Oh man,
the RO had said.
Were you watching the live stream when this happened?
No.
Oh man.
So the live stream was going,
and the live stream. I want to know if you could hear her.
I had a conversation with the RO about it because I was asking him about the standards, and I was just post workout. Like I maybe gave a little bit more raw of thoughts than I should have to the RO.
I personally enjoy raw Jenay.
Yeah, I would say what raw Jenay is like, right? Like that's what that dude got.
Filtered Jenay.
Yeah.
Is what most people see. I enjoy the raw emotions.
So post workout, he tells us that we can use our hands, and I told him that was gay. And I feel like I offended him because he got a little like, well, it's so everyone can keep moving.
We want people to not stop and keep working.
And I felt bad at that point because I was like, oh, I just offended him. But and so I apologize. But anyways, I personally, that's fine if he wants to do that for all the divisions.
Lord, I apologize. I'm the starving pygmies in Africa. Who was that? Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah. So I get his intent when he said, well, I wanted to keep all the divisions moving because it makes it harder. I get that. And I get a little bummed sometimes when elite doesn't like get held to elite standards, I guess, on that. I'm like, the elites are totally capable of stepping over this box and putting 2 feet on the box.
2 feet must touch, like only
2 feet
can touch. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Where it's already a standard.
Yeah.
So just stick with the standard. So anyways, nonetheless, and another standard, both people can burpee at the same time.
So we were on opposite sides of the box.
Sometimes we were on the same.
Oh yeah, I guess sometimes we ended up on the same side of the box because she's just really fast at burpees and was out burping me. But we'd end up on you'd burpee, but only one person could be on the box at the same time. So our strategy was, I will keep up with you for as long as I can, and then when you are ready to pass me, just come past me, and I will let you go first over the box.
Yeah.
It turned into me going as fast as I could, and Jake just letting me go and
just
get out
doing
of the way
burpees in between her and just staying out of the way and like just intermittently figuring like I could do another one right now. I'll just do one.
Yeah.
I'll do another one. I'll just do another one quick. No, I'm just kidding. I was working as hard as I could, but there was definitely some that I was like, just go. okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
He paused and stood up, and I'm burping as fast as I can, so I don't have the ability to yell at him. But in my mind, I was like, get your ass on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be resting right now. Like, just stay moving.
So we, our goal was 80, which I think the top score up until that point was like 63. And when I told the guy, I was like, we're going to go for 80. And he kind of chuckled at me. And I was like, hey, dude, you don't think we can get 80 in 3 minutes? Like, it's a very doable number.
Yeah.
Given the standards.
Given the standards, it's a very doable number, especially with a 20-inch box. We got 76, so we didn't quite get there, but I mean...
It's like 27 per minute.
Definitely achievable, right? It's definitely achievable. So anyway, I was a little bummed we didn't hit 80, but I'm going to take 100% the blame on that because there was definitely like... I can recall 3 times where I was like, I need an extra breath. It wasn't worth it, and then would just go back. Once you start again, you're like, that wasn't worth it.
And for Miss Judgy McJudgersons over here, I'm gonna put a 100-pound vest on her and then watch her do burpees and be like, keep moving, just stand up. When you're 220 instead of 120, getting off the ground gets substantially harder as you continue going.
Yeah, I can't relate to that.
It's like, why don't you pick up a 300-pound bag? It's like, just pick it up. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I will say Jenay out burpeed everybody in that heat by a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my jam. I really enjoyed the 3-minute time domain on that. I thought it was perfect. Because
Yeah.
At 1 minute in, they still hadn't said anything, and I was like, oh, this is going to get mentally dark. And then they said a minute 30. So you hear that halfway point, and you've been suffering for a while.
Yeah.
And that is the moment that if you heard that and you weren't mentally in a zone, mentally in a zone where you're like, I'm ready to fight for it, you would give up right there and be like, oh, shoot.
We heard there was people throwing up on the heat.
I wouldn't throw up, but I would have given up. I would have kept moving, but I wouldn't have kept moving with much intensity.
Yeah, that's where Jake came in. When I heard the 90-second mark, I was like, okay, we're going to have to... Yeah. I need to stay alive to end this. I got to drive us home after this event.
That's when I start doing math in my head. And it's like, I can do 4 less than everybody else. And
Dude, I thought nothing in that. I had no idea what rep I was on. I was just going. But
I had no idea where we were at. I just knew Colton Cunningham was our judge. And then at the end of it, I looked at it. I was like, where are we at? And he showed me, and I was like, I'll take it.
And I ate it on my very last box step over.
Because
I heard him say like 5 seconds left or something. So I was doing my last burpee. So I tried to like get over at the very last second to get one more rep.
Yeah.
And I ate it in the process. Like I literally toppled over the other side of the box.
That's a better one.
I just laid there. I got done.
That's funny.
Yeah, I hit my back and I was like, all right, I'm just going to lay here.
All right. So that was 7 and 8.
Yeah, 7 and 8. Yeah. That was the last one. Good one to end on a bang, that's for sure.
And to be honest with you, we needed those points there at the end.
Love ending on a stage like that where there's nothing after it. You just...
Yeah, it was good.
You and your effort. Overall, though, I think Utah, that venue is just so beautiful every time.
Yeah, the backdrop was amazing.
Even when we were at a different range in Utah prior, I've been to every year for the past 3 years, I've been out to a Utah event. And it's never disappointed.
The Cobalt range was really cool too. That was a couple years ago.
Stage 1 was a sprint. Stage 2 was power.
Yes.
The row, 12 or 9 calories or 12 or 8, whatever it was. That's power. Then long range, sandbag over yoke, strength. Right, or was it like
It was a power. Strength. It was a power / strength event. It wasn't pure strength because you were able to use your partner.
Yeah. Then aggregate, throttle, control. That's just shooting. Sled turned into farmer's carry, which was just kind of that. Probably honestly got more breathing.
It was very breathing heavy.
It was short.
Then farmer's rope climb, some gymnastic stuff, which rope climbs is gymnastic. And then farmer's carry, strength, I guess grip strength. Yeah. Grip strength and that. And then burpees. So it seems like burpees is just body weight stuff. So maybe a little bias towards strength stuff. Maybe. Well, sprint. No, it seems right. Yeah. That's pretty balanced.
There was nothing long, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stage that I think was supposed to take the longest was 6 and 7.
Oh, for like the time domain.
Yeah,
variability.
But 6, for those that didn't pull the sled with weight on it, the time domain was not a factor. 7, I think people shot slow.
Yeah,
and that was the factor in 7 was, you know, we watched a couple heats of it, and I mean, right before our heat took off, everybody in the heat no one expected to finish it.
Yeah.
Sal came up to me and afterwards and was like, "What are y'all gonna get to?" You know, the SIG guys came up and like, "How far y'all think y'all can get?" I mean, nobody thought that we could finish it. Once you got 4 rounds in, you were like, "Oh, okay, I can like." We have to maintain this pace because we got finished with the 4th round. We were going back to get to the rope climbs, and our judge was like, he goes, "You're about to hit the 10-minute marker." And I said, "Wait, we're not halfway done yet?" And he goes, "You're halfway done right now." And I looked back here and I was like, "Hey, like we can finish." We weren't ahead by any means. We were like 3rd or 4th in the heat at that point of like where we were at. So like I knew that we could finish that and we needed to finish that. So I don't know, that was good. I thought the breakdown of the stages was honestly pretty good. As far as like how they spread it out. I thought they did a good job.
I would like to see
I like to see something a little bit more longer duration for breathing wise. And I'd like to see a erg used with another implement.
That or erg for more in distance, like we were talking about earlier, like erg for endurance instead of
like
just
50,
power.
40, 30 or something.
Yeah. But then anytime there's rope climbs, like for elite, 1 or 2 rope climbs isn't a big deal. I think that bigger sets of rope climbs, like a set of 5, because round 1 set of 5 isn't a big deal for pretty much anybody. Round 2, you're going to start seeing a little separation. Round 3, people are going to start having to rest while the people that are good at ropes and have an upper body and all that stuff, good technique and all that, they're going to keep motoring through, and that's when you're going to see some people really fall off and then gain a separation. But like 2 rope climb, you're not creating any separation there.
I also think at this event, you know, which I'm not knocking anything on this event, but every stage was either like 4 mags of this, 4 mags of this.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to the days where we could just do 2 rounds of something and punish you for 2 fucking rounds?
Yeah.
And make the shooting worth it. Like we did in Meridian that one year where it was like, you took this 100-yard sprint down with all your stuff and you shot, and then it was 100. You carried 1 implement back, and then you ran back. You shot it again, and you ran back your last implement. It was 2 shooting iterations, 3 physicalities, done.
Yeah.
And it was very long physical. Each physical bout was really long. So back to like, you know, extending it out on a rower or doing 5 rope climbs, they only need to do 2 or 3 rounds of that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like do 6 rope climbs around for 2 rounds. That's a lot harder in my opinion than 3 rope climbs around for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Way harder.
Because then you can, if you only have like 2 shooting iterations, or like we would start on shooting sometimes. Correct. And then you would go do fitness for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then you'd come back and shoot for the second time, and then do fitness for a couple minutes, whatever. And then shoot for the last time. And then you got to get all your stuff back or whatever it is. But yeah, that's.
Because every stage just felt like, oh, we got 4 rounds again. Oh, we got 4. Even if it was 8 rounds, it's still 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Just you're only shooting one weapon when you go up, so it just doubles it. So I think creating a little bit of variability and stuff like that would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. First time we did teams
was a very long day.
When was that though?
That was West Virginia 21.
But the first year we did teams, it was we had 2 team events that year. One was the only elite division was male.
Yeah.
And there was like another division that you could do co-ed or whatever. And then the second one, the only elite division was co-ed.
Correct.
Male, female. And I think there's enough people to alleviate, like, somebody was asking questions. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want anything to happen. But, and I was just like, it sounds like if you want to win a team event, you got to go as a male. And because there's just too many things. And, but yeah, I'd like to see in the future it get split back up again to where like one event is male is the elite, and then another event is male the elite, and then hopefully in the future. And the only reason why I wouldn't say like female is the elite, or no, the way we did it the first year, it was male elite and then female elite in that particular event.
Correct.
Then the next event was only co-ed. Correct. Was elite. So the males had their chance to be elite, the females had their chance to be elite, and then the next event was co-ed only. Yeah. We
didn't have enough females for it to be worth it, so that's why we just made a female and general division.
Yeah.
And then I personally think, I agree with you, if Tactical Games announced it at the beginning of the year and said, this team event is same-sex pairs, this team event is
co-ed only.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be co-ed only, but we are going to create a co-ed elite division for this event or whatever. Like if you want to do male tactical, go do male tactical. Because I think the issue is Nick wants to sell as many tickets as possible, right? So it's like will that many co-ed teams come to play? I don't know. And if they don't, then I get it. But
in the future, I think you're going to see less. Getting into the weeds on it, some sponsorships pay based on how you finish.
Sure.
Right. Like if you have some of those sponsorships where it's like you get a bonus if you're finished first, second, or third or whatever, you're not going to go as a co-ed team.
Correct.
You're going to go as a male team because it's like at the end of the day, if you can it's a paycheck. Yeah. And like as much as you might want to do a co-ed, like if you can get a paycheck that either pays for all of your trip or most of your trip or even more than what your trip is, you're going to go as male.
100%.
Like if I had 100,000, which is nobody has $100,000 on a match sponsorship, not even close. But if just making a point, like if it was $100,000 on the line and I had a choice, I'm going as a male team.
Oh, 100%.
Right. And so I think like there needs to be one event where it's the elite event is co-ed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
cool.
Anyway, that's just my opinion, and my opinion was bought, and my opinion doesn't matter anymore. So, but yeah, it sounded like overall the thing. I liked the know your limit plates thing. That's pretty cool.
That was a cool stage. Yeah.
Right when I heard it, I wasn't real sure about it, but like it seems like it turned out pretty cool. And then sounds good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
All right. Well.
All right. Thanks, guys. We will be back to talk about our athlete camp next. Talk to you soon.